Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Ohio Representatives Allison Russo and Jason Stevens taking bribes from corporate lobbyists and pretty much everybody else, it seems like, at this point, and why they both must be removed from the Ohio State House and arrested for the crimes they've already committed at this point, not to mention the 50 plus other people that voted for Stevens for Speaker of the House at this point, starting with the other 31 Democrats who have all committed crimes at this point, from oath breaking to various deprivation of rights under color of law charges to everything in between, including accepting bribes from various organizations like Moms Demand Action and Bloomberg, Everytown, etc. Planned Parenthood, I'm sure, is one of them if they ever actually investigated for it. But it's the problem right now. You don't have them being investigated for these things. So anyway, to start out with Allison Russo, we already know she took a bribe from Moms Demand Action on camera, May of 2021. Most recently, though, this is something I found out last night when I was on Casey Weinstein's Twitter account of all places. Somebody had posted this in the comment section about how Allison Russo is also taking fucking bribes from Republican mega donors. Specifically, as this says here, said, and when you read this stuff, and they're tagging Allison Russo there, said trying to downplay the role of the picture, remember she recently accepted $10,000 from Republican mega donor Virginia Reagan, the same mega donor who is now at the heart of the scandal. I'm guessing that would be the various household bribery scandal, would be my guess right now. And then you had piece of shit Allison Russo here back on the 4th of this year, which is the 4th this month, saying, for the record, first rule of leadership is to know how to count votes. Coalitions aren't built on a whim and without a picture. The rules for electing a Speaker of the House aren't the same as Congress, and never underestimate the power of 32 consolidated votes. Oh, you mean 32 fucking cheaters? Because we all know every single Democrat in the state of Ohio is cheated to get in office at this point, dude. When you literally are running single person fucking general elections where your bitch ass gets in by default, your entire seat doesn't need to exist, Allison. And that's exactly how your bitch ass got back into office, you fucking cunt. And not only that, but you also got the same way in the fucking primary because nobody was actually running against your bitch ass then. Because again, you have gerrymandered your own congressional district in Upper Arlington / Grandview, the two richest, whitest neighborhoods in the city of Columbus, and also the most gerrymandered racially, by the way, on that one, to a point where you know for a fact you're going to get in because you have a bunch of rich assholes voting you back into fucking office, you fucking cunt. And you're never going to have any opposition to your actual fucking rule is what it is. So anyway, continuing on here, said, this Jeremy Fezzer guy said, investigating tidbit in governor's race today. Ohio House Minority Leader Allison Russo, Upper Arlington, got a $10,000 donation from GOP mega donor Ginny Regan last month. And as I said here from the Rooster People, they said, here's what I said at the time about that donation. Interesting given how Russo just delivered the Dems against a candidate who was also victim of a blackmail photo from one of Regan's most fervent disciples. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's definitely fucking backdoor deals going on there, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, where the fuck are the Ohio State cops at this point, dude? Like, where the fuck are you guys? Like, do your fucking job and start fucking investigating these cocksuckers, dude. And I mean that for real. Like, make that shit transparent that, yes, there are investigations going on in the state of Ohio right now. Every single one of these people that are under investigation right now are going to be removed from office until the investigations are actually completely finished and go from there. And that's how we deal with this shit, dude, because there's no fucking reason for Allison Russo or Jason Stevens or any of these motherfuckers, dude, to be in office right now, you know, putting forward legislation, pushing forward laws and stuff, or trying to push stuff into law and stuff like that. Well, they are fucking criminals. Well, they've done criminal acts and are under investigation for criminal. It's the same exact thing with Hillary Clinton did when she ran for president in 2016. This bitch was under FBI indictment and yet was still running for president. What the fuck, dude? Like, that is why our country's gone to hell in the past 7 years, dude, is because of bullshit like that right there. Because you have these fucking Democrats and these fucking rhino sacks of shit literally doing backdoor handshake deals and shit like that to fuck the rest of us over is what it is, dude. And it's exactly why we need to start fresh at this point, man, for real. And then, of course, you got this This goes back to something I was talking about with my own state rep, Reggie Stolfus, who I'm probably going to try to primary in 2024 now that everything's going on right now, which is he was talking to me. This is about 3 or 4 months ago. We had an actual conversation finally for the first time after I called his office for the past, couple years now, and I've talked to his aides several hundred times at this point. He was talking about speakers races and how you basically had to do $1 million backdoor deals with corporate lobbying and stuff like that to basically get into the office is what it is. So we had this article come out yesterday or a couple days ago. Nursing homes, unions, lobbyists open checkbooks for new Ohio House Speaker Jason Stevens, which again, this is why I want to get rid of fucking corporate mega donors, dude. This is why I want to get rid of corporate lobbying in this fucking country, because it's shit like this right here is why that fucking scumbag piece of shit Jason Stevens is now Speaker of the House, dude. And why, again, he should be fucking investigated for this stuff, dude, because how the fuck is that not, you have that as the actual title for this, or the actual headline for your fucking article, dude. How is that not bribery? How are you not bribing this man to the tune of $600,000 fucking dollars to get him in a speaker? That is exactly what took down Larry Householder after he was elected speaker in 2019. Was eventually a few years later, he got busted for fucking the HB6 scandal, dude. It's the exact same shit right here with Stevens, dude. And that's why I've said, wait 6 months, wait 18 months, and I guarantee this motherfucker's going to be in jail right now, dude. And he'll probably be getting the exact same shit with the exact same householder treatment. The problem is, though, it's time to take everybody else down with these motherfuckers, dude. There should have been at least half the Ohio General Assembly going down with Larry Householder, including Governors Mike DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted. Probably John Kasich, too, actually, ex-governor. But the entire point is, it's like, no, enough is enough of this shit, dude. And when it says Columbus, Ohio, during the past 2 years, new Ohio House Speaker Jason Stevens has raised nearly $616,000 with top supporters, including nursing homes, building trade unions, and some of Ohio's most powerful lobbyists. Yeah, probably fucking Bloomberg terrorists is my guess, honestly, on that one, dude. So that's according to the Cleveland.com/plain dealer analysis, the Ohio Secretary of State record of contributions made between the start of 2021 and the last month, which would be December 2022, to Jason Stevens, a Lawrence County Republican, elected speaker last Tuesday when he literally fucking scumbagged the Republican Party and went and got every goddamn Democrat to fucking vote for him in lockstep, is what it was, dude. And then found 21 rhinos that were willing to fuck over Derek Merrill. We'll talk about that in a minute, actually, too, by the way. With that fucking Sarah Carruthers, and why she needs to be one of the top ones tossed out as well for a fucking pay-to-play scandal she's been doing for at least the past 2 or 3 years now. So, anyway. Yeah, it said Stevens was first appointed to his seat in 2019. That is why I fucking hate appointments, by the way. This is what I cannot stand in the state of Ohio, dude, or any state for that matter, because it happens in other states too, by the way. You'll have somebody leave office. They'll have a term that's basically, 6 months, a year left on it, or whatever the case be. And instead of actually holding a special election that we, the people, are allowed to vote on these fucking people, no, they'll get, 4, 5, 6 people, whatever it is, that'll be like, hey, I kind of want that job, and I'm your buddy, or whatever the case be, and they'll just pick the one that's the biggest one of their buddies, is, dude, and throw them in that fucking seat of power. It's bullshit, and it's unconstitutional. It fucking needs to be unconstitutional. If it's not unconstitutional, I don't know how the fuck it's not at this point, honestly, dude, because it should be considered unconstitutional, because you're literally appointing someone to an elected position is what it is. You're literally defying the will of the voter at that point. Anyway, said last session, Stevens chaired the House Energy and Natural Resources Committees. He sat on the House Finance, Insurance, and Public Utilities Committees. His list of donors reflects those committee assignments, as he attached numerous contributions from utilities. Attracted numerous contributions from utilities, energy companies, pharmaceutical companies, who's big pharma fuckboys, what it is, dude, and healthcare groups, among others. Yeah, probably Bloomberg is my guess, honestly. It said top individual contributions to Stevens' campaign between January 2021 and December 2022 were Roland Wilhelm and his wife, Dinah, who gave a combined $39,000 to Stevens' speaker campaign during the last 2 years, according to state records. Said Roland Wilhelm is the president of Long-Term Care Division of Common Care Health Services, which owns nursing homes, skilled nursing centers, and assisted living facilities in several states. So literally some fucking douchebag who probably took a bunch of PPP loan money, I'm guessing at this point, and probably also stole a bunch of PPP loan money at this point, is my guess, honestly, dude. It said nursing home PACs and individual facility operators have given more than $1.4 million to state-level races in Ohio during the 2021 and 2022 campaign cycle alone. This past Friday, Governor Mike DeWine signed legislation giving nursing home industry about $350 million in state and federal funds. So American Rescue Plan and shit like that is what it'll be, dude. All taxpayer money, by the way. So you're again, that's the exact, like, let's talk about for a minute now with what DeWine just did, dude. That right there, what they just said about DeWine, is exactly why DeWine should be in prison right now. Because of the fact that you're literally paying off your fucking donors, is what it is, dude. You did the exact same bullshit that Kathy Hochul did in New York, dude, when she did that PPP loan crap. The only difference is that you did it across the board to a bunch of people, so you're not just doing it to like one donor or whatever the case, but you're just doing it to a bunch of donors, is what it is. Whereas Kathy Hochul did some like third-party crap with masks and PPE equipment, stuff like that, with one dude who gave her campaign a fuck ton of money after the fact, is what it was. And I guarantee if you look at DeWine's campaign, it's the same exact deal. There's what it is. He probably got the majority of that $1.4 million in the past 2 years, is what it is. Anyway, it said Doug Freeman, the CEO of Quality Care Nursing, a home health care agency in Stevens home county, gave Stevens two contributions worth a combined $11,500 in 2021 and 2022, according to Secretary of State records. Said Stevens also received nearly $83,000 in total from labor unions during that time. Records show much of that came from building trade unions, which have given more generously to Republicans in recent years as the GOP has controlled state government. Affiliated Construction Trades Ohio, a union advocacy group, so basically the fucking Bloomberg equivalent in unions is what it is, contributed a total of $27,408 to Stevens' campaign, while the International Unions of Operating Engineers Political Action Committee, or Super PAC is what it is, donated $9,000 to him last October. It said, meanwhile, the Ohio Education Association, the state's largest teachers union, this is exactly why I want to fucking ban teachers unions in the state too, by the way, is shit like this right here, man, gave him $8,500 in campaign contributions. Said NI Source, the natural gas utility company, donated $13,500 in total to Stevens, while American Electric Power Political Action Committee gave $5,500 in all during the past 2 years. Said Lobbyists also opened up their checkbooks for Stevens. A total of $18,704 was given to Stevens' campaign from employees of Sunday Creek Horizons, a Southeast Ohio lobbying firm that employs former Democrat U.S. Rep. Zach Space and former Republican State Senator Jay Hotner, among others. Dude, this is, like, seriously. This is fucking pay-to-play shit right here, dude. This is what I'm talking about. This is all criminal shit right here, dude. Enough is enough of this crap, dude. This is honestly the same fucking level as the whole government sack shit during Obama's administration as president, dude. Where you had Goldman Sachs employees flip-flopping between that place and the fucking U.S. government and then being given a bunch of contracts and everything else like that. Like, this is criminal level shit right here that I'm talking about, man. And it needs to be investigated by the Ohio State Police, every single sitting sheriff, except for Charmaine McGuffey in the state of Ohio, because she needs to be fucking tossed out of office there in Hamilton County for being an MDA fucking plant and a Bloomberg bitch is what it is. And it needs to really be every single cop in this fucking state descending on this motherfucking state house in the coming days and start arresting these motherfuckers, dude. Seriously. Anyway, continues on and said others who made campaign contributions to Stevens work for some of the most predominant lobbying firms in the state, including Van Meter, Ashbrook and Associates, the Bachiner Company, McNice, Wallace and Norries, and Squire Patent and Boggs. Said lobbyists from these firms have contributed money to a number of state lawmakers, which again should be illegal at this point. And again, this is why it needs to be individual donors, period. Not fucking corporate PACs, not super PACs, not fucking corporate lobbying. None of that bullshit, dude. So some of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies made donations, albeit in smaller amounts, to Stevens in 2021 and 2022, including $1,000 from Merck, $700 from Pfizer, and $500 from Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, Eli Lilly, GlaxoSmithKline, Johnson & Johnson, and McCartney Corp's employees PACs, according to Stevens' filings. So yeah, it's been in the article. But yeah, it's a bunch of crap, dude, entirely. Like, Jason Stevens needs to be in jail, dude. He needs to be in jail. Allison Russo needs to be in fucking jail. They all need to be facing serious fucking charges. And I'm going to say it like it is right now, dude. Anybody that's pushing gun control in this country, which I know for a fact that fucking cunt Allison Russo has in the past, dude. I know for a fact she's been the main person that's pushed it there. It's time to start charging these people with a death penalty at this point, dude. If you are pushing any kind of anti-American, unconstitutional, anti-gun crap, dude, you are the primary sponsor, the co-sponsor, whatever the fuck the case be, man. Your ass needs to be going down right now. You need to be charged with the death penalty at a state level, and you need to be facing death penalty charges at that point, dude. Because that's exactly what you're trying to do to Americans. You are trying to kill us all because you're trying to disarm us all so that you can fucking do democide against us all is what it is, dude. And going back to another thing I want to talk about here, when it came to Russo and Stevens together the other day at that bullshit thing. So you would think, right, you're being elected into the speakership as a Republican. You'd think you're a Republican holding your Bible for you, right? No. What did Jason Stevens have holding his Bible? Who do you have holding his Bible? That fucking crossroads demon fucking cunt, Allison Russo. This bitch needs to be brought up on death penalty charges at this point, dude. Seriously. And I mean that fucking seriously, dude. She is a fucking demon. She literally bragged, and this is something I learned about last night, actually, from Candace Keller, ex-state rep, is that Allison Russo, in the past few years now, was bragging on the House floor during one of the hearings about pro-life legislation about how her grandmother had an abortion and how it was great how her aunt or uncle was dead, dude. That is the kind of fucking demon level shit we're dealing with these fucking sick motherfuckers, dude. These people are not human anymore, dude, at all. They are not human anymore. They are demon possessed individuals, and they need to be treated as such at this point in history. Allison Russo is a fucking demon. End of story, dude. She is a fucking demon cunt who has fucked over Ohioans, who has tried to push through a bunch of bullshit, but knows she can't get it done because she doesn't have the fucking majority is what it is. And I guarantee you that's the backdoor shady shit she did with that piece of shit Jason Stevens, dude. They made some fucked up deal right now where I guarantee in the next 10 days, 20 days, whatever the fuck it's going to be now, they're going to start introducing gun control again. And they want to be arrested on the spot for that shit, dude. They want to be arrested on the spot and charged with the death penalty for that crap. And that's exactly why her and the rest of the fucking cunt-ass Democrats are trying to run the death penalty at the state level right now, dude, because they know they'd be charged underneath it is what it is. They know they should die underneath is what it is. Enough is enough of this crap, dude. Seriously. It's fucking bullshit. And then who else is in that picture? You got that fat fuck Dontavious Jarrell's there in the blue suit there. I'm not sure who the rest of these jackasses are, but I know that dumb motherfucker is one of the other Democrats there. I'm surprised Russo's hands ain't burning from holding that Bible, honestly, dude. Because she is a fucking demon. But yeah, needless to say, I'm fucking pissed right now. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and read the last part of the other article I want to talk about here, which was the whole quote-unquote coup thing there. We got State House coup, Ohio GOP bitterly divided by deal with Democrats to elect House Speaker. Again, the last time this fucking happened was Larry Householder, who's now under federal indictment and is going to trial very quickly for a bribery scandal that both Attorney General Dave Yost and ex-state rep Kyle Kellner are going to be testifying in at minimum. This is from yesterday. Said, following was originally published by ABC5 News or ABC5Cleveland.com under the Ohio Journal. Secret, blah blah blah. It said last night, phone calls behind closed door bargaining in a deal with the Democrat led to a remarkable upset in the speaker's race for the Ohio House of Representatives. Now the state Republican Party has conjured the 22, I think it's pronounced conserved, whatever you want to call it, 22 Ohio GOP members who voted against the originally chosen candidate, being Derek Marin. Said in an exclusive news article there, interview, Ohio House Minority Leader Allison Russo goes into depth about why her party helped elect Speaker Stevens. It said, snatch the position over State Representative Derek Marin. State Representative Ron Ferguson also spoke exclusively to that whole thing about what he calls the betrayal he and 44 other Republicans faced last Tuesday. Said, quote, choosing Stevens, more than 1 month of meeting, consistent vote counting, and emergency caucuses led Russo to feel comfortable enough to have her party vote for Stevens. And this is why I think it's bullshit, dude, because of the fact that you have this fucking cunt in the last week or so come out here and be like, oh, it was only 2 hours before the actual vote that me and the rest of the Democrat Party fucking decided to go for speaker, decided to go for Representative Stevens is the fucking speaker now. Nudge, nudge, ha. Bullshit, bitch. You fucking admit right there. Your ass was having closed door fucking meetings for over a fucking month, which means the entire part of Christmas and probably all the way back to Thanksgiving is my guess during all those fucking breaks. That means your fucking cunt ass was having fucking secret meetings with this dude. Which is exactly why your ass needs to be fucking tossed out of office right now, Allison Russo, you fucking cunt. Fucking demon. Anyway, this is a quote from the stupid bitch, said, this was a very risky thing that we did, and if it had failed, there would have been big consequences for it as well. There still needs to be, by the way. Your asses need to be tossed out of fucking office for this shit, dude. Said if Stevens had lost, but the Democrats had supported him, Russo would likely not have had her leadership role, nor fucking should you anyway. Said GOP lawmakers previously told the affiliate there would be consequences if Democrats voted for Stevens, such as choosing all freshman members to be in executive positions. Luckily, Russo said they had the votes for Stevens and thus for their parties, their own party leaders. Said lobbying started immediately after Thanksgiving. She said, okay, there you go, right there, Thanksgiving. So it was their Thanksgiving break is what it was, dude. Quote, it is beneficial for us at times that they are divided. That piece of shit, Allison Russo said. Democrats in Ohio typically, but not always, stay out of the Ohio Speaker vote when Republicans have control, but the 32 members helped Stevens win over the lawmaker, the majority of GOP caucus, internally elected Derek Marin. Quote, there were just some clear distinctions, she said. The entire party elevated each of the candidates' characters. Willingness to compromise on democratic wants, means Democrat bullshit bills is what she's really saying there, and cultural war issues. Said Stevens is still conservative on many issues, but is not nearly as right-wing as Derek Marin. Now the speaker is seemingly pledging to stop, quote-unquote, far-right policies and act as a full moderate. So what that really means is all the stuff that we saw in the state of Ohio in the past couple of years, like, I don't know, stopping fucking kids from having transgender bullshit shoved down their goddamn throats, or fucking groomed by a bunch of goddamn fucking pedophiles in our fucking state house, or pushing CRT and other anti-white racist bullshit on them, dude, is now going to be gone. And no, that is not far-right extremism. That is fucking common sense. It is common sense legislation that should have passed the General Assembly last fucking year is what it is, dude. And it's bullshit that, as far as I'm aware, it did not at this point. So, anyway. Continuing on. Said the deal, some of the provisions of the deal Stevens offered Russo aren't as solid as others. Note, nothing is in writing, but rather agreements, compromises, and known Democratic wants. Russo gained a confirmed goal of getting bipartisan and, quote, constitutional district maps. Bullshit. What she wants is fucking gerrymandered blue district maps, which are completely unconstitutional. And the whole point of it is right now, dude, Ohio's maps are constitutional. If we want to actually have, and that's the thing, dude, if you want to have real constitutional maps at this point, it's time for one county, one rep maps. And that means Allison Russo and 10 other fucking Democrats are tossed the fuck out of office in Franklin County, dude, is what it is. And you have one fucking person representing Franklin County entirely, not fucking 11 jackasses. So, anyway, said, congressional maps, which is a start in the, quote, right direction to actually getting fair maps. Bullshit. No. You want fucking leftist blue maps is what you want, you fucking cunt. Even though there's not people who are going to vote your fucking Democrat Party asswipes in the fucking office outside fucking major leftist shitholes like Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. And stuff like Dayton or Toledo. And hell, even fucking Canton, dude. Even the district that Thomas West represented in Canton, dude, was so fucking fed up with that cocksucker, they actually voted Republican Jim Thomas this time around. So that tells you exactly where we're fucking here at this point, dude. So anyway. Tizon said, Russo's bitch ass said, I think Stevens and I had some really good conversations about some of the concerns within the caucus, as well as knowing how that process played out the last time. Both he and Marin felt pretty strongly that they wanted to get to partisanship maps. They are partisan, by the way, dude. Ohio's a fucking red state, is what it is. If they want fucking partisan maps, dude, get the fuck out of the state and go to another fucking state, dude. Seriously. Take your bitch asses to New York where it's so gerrymandered blue. It's not even funny, dude. Anyway, so the major concern for Russo's is the state's lack of constitutional funding for public education. No, we should have fucking school vouchers because you don't need to have fucking kids in public schools having fucking transgender garbage and anti-white racist shit shoved down their fucking throats, you fucking dirty cunt. She was also able to lock down the, quote, fair school funding plan, which is a bunch of bullshit, too, by the way. It's just a way to fuck over kids going to actual private schools with actual student vouchers, dude, and forcing a bunch of Ohio tax money to go directly to public schooling instead of actually going to students' pockets and their parents' pockets who want to choose where their kids go is what it is. If they want to homeschool them or if they want to take them to a fucking private institution or whatever the case be, which is how it should be at this point in time in history. It's bullshit entirely, dude. Said, quote, Stevens is a strong supporter of public schools and was pretty clear that he wants to see that fair fair school funding plan put into place, Russo added. So the alliance looks to prevent school choice voucher expansions with a major one looming labeled the backpack bill, anti-union bills with specific consideration to the right to work law and House Joint Resolution 6, which, by the way, I love how they say the controversial proposal to make it much more difficult to amend the Ohio Constitution and extensive cultural war bill hearings. So here's the problem I have with that, dude. House Joint Resolution 6 should have passed last year, and it's bullshit that it didn't. When you had a fucking mini insurrection act from a bunch of leftists, including the fucking bitch who ran against Jim Jordan for Congress this past go-around, who was there filming the shit. And it was a bunch of whiny ass fucking Democrats being like, oh no, we shouldn't have 3/5 of the voting population amend the Constitution. It should be fucking 50% plus one vote to where they can get a bunch of fucking corporate lobbyists in here to pay people off is what it is, dude. Fuck that shit. No, it should be a fucking 3/5 vote. Hell, it should be a 75% vote at this point, dude. When you had 66.7% that were the ones voting for the last couple time period, last election cycle where you had two different bills on there to make it so that legal aliens couldn't vote, et cetera, dude. It should be more like 70% at this point, honestly, at least. Or at least 65% anyway, since it was like 67% is what it was. Anyway, said, quote, this is again from Russo, it said, his and I think many people who supported him in the caucus, their concern is about how some of the culture war issues can really be a distraction from in committees and take away from work that needs to be done by the legislator to get things done for the people. You are getting things done from the people, you fucking stupid piece of shit, when you're doing that kind of stuff. It's not culture war issues to stop fucking kids from being groomed to become fucking sterile by pushing transgender shit on them, Allison Russo. You know that for a fact, but you will never fucking admit it because you are a fucking demon piece of shit who wants this crap. You fucking sack of shit, lady. And that's the whole problem entirely, dude. You're not pushing. Oh my God, I'm so fucking sick and tired of this fucking cunt, dude. I swear to fucking Christ. Anyway, she said about her faith that controversial bills will not be as apparent in Stevens' house. No, because Stevens ain't going to be in the fucking house anymore, dude. That's what it needs to be at this point. So although Allison Russo says she didn't explicitly ask for specific committee chairs, bullshit, she didn't. Yes, she fucking did. Yes, she fucking did. She knows that picks will be more moderate than Marin's would have been, said Marin was not as receptive to bargaining, nor fucking should he have been, dude. That is until the last 48 hours before the vote. Said Marin's team was pretty insistent that they didn't need Democrat votes, nor should they have had to, man, because they had 67 people there, the Republican Party, dude. They had enough votes to go to the floor, and really, I don't think that became evident to them until the last couple days. Said aftermath, Marin declined an interview, but Marin ally, Representative Ron Ferguson, did. He said that the election was a coup, yes it fucking was, and the desire for personal gain mixed with spite led to more than 20 Republicans to side with Stevens' bitch ass. Said friendships are absolutely lost. I can't trust anyone anymore, and I'm not going to be able to work with them anymore. Nor should you, dude. Nor fucking should you. And that's what I'm saying, dude. The biggest problem I have right now, and I'm going to stop screen sharing for a minute because I want to talk about this shit for real now. The biggest problem, and actually I'm going to go ahead and do face reveal here. The biggest fucking problem that I personally have with all this shit is you have every single one of these people that are elected by we the people. They are all elected by people like myself to be our elected representatives, you're not there to make fucking friends. You're not there to make fucking friendships. You're there to do what we, the people, want you to do. You're there to do what the will of the people is. And the will of the people is not to push anti-gun bullshit. It's not to push anti-life crap like abortion garbage, dude. It's there to actually push legitimate stuff like stopping kids from being groomed in schools, like stopping literally critical race theory shit that is nothing more than anti-white racism, dude. And I am sick and tired of that crap, dude. I don't need my 9-year-old niece having that shit shoved down her fucking throat and my 16-year-old nephew having that shit down his fucking throat at this point, dude. It's a bunch of crap, dude. It always has been a bunch of crap. And the entire point of CRT, the entire point of the 1619 Project, which is a bunch of fucking fake history, etc., dude, was to literally racially divide this country because these people that are behind this shit are a bunch of goddamn racists. They're a bunch of anti-white racists. Legitimately. It's why you have the same bullshit going on with all these fucking teachers that are like, oh, I'm going to groom these fucking kids this way or that way or this way or that way, or whatever the case be, dude. Hell, if you haven't been on my Twitter account today, I reposted something from those at TikTok earlier today, actually, where it was talking about how you had some fucking teacher who claims to be non-binary and stuff like that, bitching and moaning about like, oh, parents teaching their kids there are only 2 genders, and that's why I teach them about everything else and stuff. No, you don't, motherfucker, because there is only 2 fucking genders. If you got a fucking problem with that, you should be blackballed from education entirely, dude. And I mean that fucking seriously. It is way past time for that to start happening at this point, dude. There is no reason for any of these fucking people who are pushing all kinds of trans shit or all kinds of fucking made up extra genders and stuff like that, dude, to even be in any kind of position of education at this point, to be around young children, because people are clearly fucking grooming kids and stuff like that, especially what we saw in Chicago in the past year or so, where you had a bunch of Chicago-based school teachers literally grooming kids to molest them then, dude. And that's all come out in the last couple of days, by the way, for those interested in that. We'll talk about that here in a minute, actually. So, yeah, needless to say, I'm fucking sick and tired of all of it, dude. I am absolutely fucking disgusted with all of it right now. And for those who don't know, it is officially now January 10th. I am officially turning 38 today, and I am fucking fed up with this shit to then and then some, dude, when it comes to all that stuff. So, anyway. To go back to right now. Yeah, to go back to the rest of this article, though, where that Ron Ferguson guy was talking about stuff. Yeah, he said friendships are absolutely lost. Can't trust anyone anymore. Should not going to be able to work with them anymore. Again, you're not there to be friends with these people. You're there to represent the people that elected you into office, sir. Period. End of story. And that's how it needs to be. Said of the 22 Stevens voters, 6 of them lied about who they were voting for. Numerous GOP lawmakers told the affiliate there, it said, it is one thing for someone to be upfront about breaking from the party. It is significantly worse when it messes up the vote count. Two lawmakers said these people that I have donated to their campaigns, that I have gone to doors in their district, that I have backed their bills on the floor, that I've 100% been behind, threw it all away, Ferguson said. I would love to know who those 6 were that fucking screw job like that, dude. I guarantee you almost probably Bill Sykes' bitch ass, honestly, dude. Anyway, continues on, said, the caucus split has actually brought the 40-some who voted for Marin together, and they are now backing a resolution to conjure the 22, which could hurt the lawmakers' chances of re-election, funding, or support. They should be tossed out of office right now, dude. I'll say it like this, dude. I've said it before, I'll say it again now. Every single one of those 22, from Jason Stevens to Mike Loychek, who's been a pro-2A guy, should all be tossed out of office right now for this crap, dude. I'm fucking sick of it, man. I am absolutely fucking sick of it. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link in the description if anybody wants to jump on the panel that's out there, and we'll talk about some stuff after the fact. So, anyway. Oh, by the way, I actually want to thank Bjorn. Well, I'm talking about before we get into more of this stuff. I want to thank Bjorn because I was watching NEA's channel last night. I know he gave up his subscription super chat to give a shout out to me. So thank you, Bjorn. I very much appreciate that, sir. Very much appreciate that. You do not have to do that at all for me, dude. You know? So, anyway. But we are being joined by Mr. Soulless Ginger Firearms himself. What's going on?
What's up, man? Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, just going over the stuff here for Ohio. Yeah, the 40-something people that did not vote for Jason Stevens for Speaker last week will all come together now, apparently, as it said here. Don't want the other 22 to even be in office anymore than they should be. Said, and this is all from, what's this guy's name? Ron Ferguson, who's one of the state reps right now. He said, those that didn't have integrity have no part of the Republican Party. Make no mistake about that. So when asked if this vote would hurt them in the long term, he said absolutely, unequivocally, yes, it would. So my focus as representative is always going to be to get good, solid, principled Republicans elected. If that's a general election against a Democrat, so be it. If it's in a primary against a person who has no honor, so be it. Yeah, as I've said for the past couple years, it's time to primary everybody at this point, man. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said Bible. In a rare move, Allison Russo held the Bible for Jason Stevens as he was being sworn in, but the look on her face revealed it was definitely unplanned. And as we can literally see from the, let me go ahead and share that photo again. As you can literally see from the photo of the two of them making that Crossroads Demon deal, she just has that weird resting bitch face look on her face.
Jesus. Like, look at her. She's like barely holding on to that damn Bible.
I'm surprised it wasn't literally smoking in her hands, honestly.
Right. You know, these
Because
people don't believe in the Bible and don't
so
believe in God.
the fat black dude in the blue suit there is Dontavius Jarrells. He's now a second-term state rep out of Columbus area. He was actually the secondary primary person with Allison Russo on the last time that they introduced red flag laws in this state, which was in the 2021-2022 election cycle. Because they did it twice. They did it once, I believe, in 2021. It was not voted through or whatever. And they did it again as like another different piece of legislation. And then it was Jarrell's that was the third person on it, because before that it was Monica. I can't remember her last name is, but she was the one that was voted out against Bride Sweeney in the last election cycle. They primaried each other, I should say, out.
Yeah. No one in that picture looks happy at all.
I mean, Stevens even looks like a fucking nut at this point. Like, he just looks like a psycho in that shot.
They all do. I mean, like, damn, nobody's smiling. Nobody's like.
Well, what's interesting to me,
miserable being there doing that swearing in process.
Even Allison Russo, like when this happened last week, she came out and was like, "Hey, it was only a couple hours before the vote that the Democrat Party decided to back Stevens for speaker and stuff like that." And now this article I'm reading here, it specifically said they were doing backdoor deals since Thanksgiving.
Jesus.
And I'm like, of course you fucking were. Like, that's the entire point. It's a bunch of scum. And that's the thing. If you're going to be transparent about stuff, you don't need to have closed backdoor meetings. Be upfront with the voter base that voted you into office.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not going to do that, then you shouldn't be in office when it is, period.
Yep.
But anyway.
If you're not for the people and there to uphold and defend the Constitution, bye. Get the fuck out. Be gone.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, where's that now? Going back to the rest of that article, though. It said, yeah. Look on her face, definitely on plan. Quote, when I got down to the well, there was no one standing there to hold the Bible, Russo said. As I was standing there, I was aware that there were many people who were upset, as there should have been. Said it was solemn for some and all around tense. I tried to be respectful of that, understanding that there were a lot of emotions and feelings about it at the time, but also wanted to make sure that I supported the person that I voted for as speaker, and that was Speaker Stevens. Said Ron Ferguson confirmed her story, but added that having a Democrat hold the Bible was a symbolic move. Said some of us were asked to escort the man who was voted in as speaker, and that was something we were unwilling to do because of the bond that had been broken between us. It was Democrats that got the job done, so allow the Democrats to walk down the aisle. Let's see, what's next? Stevens backers say they voted for him because he can bring stability and integrity back to the House. Jesus fucking Christ. Said Russo agreeing that the elected speaker is known for being genuine. Also notes that she isn't expecting a quote miracle, yet she's willing to work with him that's so-called moderate and push her crap is what it is. So when asked what happens if the speaker doesn't actually follow through with the deal, she said she isn't naive and knew that there was possibility for that. We know I always say the proof is in the pudding. I think that's why
Are you there?
you will see we're not taking a big victory lap on this. So we're not coming through. Shit.
No, I heard you that time.
Okay.
You kind of cut out for a second. I didn't know if it was
Yeah,
maybe me or you.
no, my signal's going unstable is what the problem is right now. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, my signal goes wonky sometimes is what it is.
Are you good, man?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where the hell I was. Oh yeah, Russo said proofs in the pudding. Think we'll see a victory lap for this one. I'm not taking a victory lap for that one. It's a deal with Stevens was not fulfilling everything Democrats discussed. Then have Marin as speaker. Said both Russo and Ferguson acknowledge that the biggest task Stevens will face is uniting his own caucus, but Republicans say nothing could ever mend the betrayal, nor should it actually at this point. So when asked the GOP, how the GOP is going to heal from this, Ferguson said the party is quite fine. The party now consists of 45 Marin voters. That says something right there, honestly, and that's not good. Said the fact that those people have separated themselves from the party, we didn't separate from them. They separated from us. They're the ones that made that choice. Yeah, that is not good. That is not good at all. Because we should have 67 right now. And the fact that you now basically have 22 rhinos, 32 Democrats, and 45 Republicans in our state house is not good at all. Shit.
I am.
Yeah. So, and this is why I've been worrying about, the possibility of them doing gun control for the past week and a half now or so.
Yeah, kind of like the shit that's going through fucking Illinois right now.
I don't know if you saw the thing I dropped in Mad Mark's Discord earlier, the one from Guns and Gadgets.
Oh yeah. I didn't watch it
it's
yet.
them. Yeah, it's them literally doing a different, pretty much. This is what it is. I'm pretty sure all this legislation is written by Bloomberg and Company, because it's the same thing with red flag laws. It's just a copy and paste piece of legislation, basically after a certain amount of time or whatever. So
That's all they ever do.
one, it has a different name to it. It's basically Prevent Mass Shootings Act or something like that is what they're calling it. But it is literally just a copy and paste of Illinois shit is what it is.
Yep.
And it's completely unconstitutional. Obviously, when it comes to the Democrat Party in Colorado, they pretty much control the state house is what it is, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be for these people that are living there right now to live underneath that. Because if it goes through, I guarantee there's going to be a lot of people packing up shop and leaving that state.
In Colorado?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't blame them if they do, honestly, because the thing, like, there's only so much, like, here's the problem. There's only so much fighting you can do in any place before it's completely not worth it anymore. And I think, honestly, the fact that you already have Colorado that has red flag laws in the books, they've had, mag bans for however the hell long it was since John Hickenlooper was governor there, and so forth and so on. I personally would have already closed up shop in that state and just moved someplace else. Like, I know it's a great state. I know it has, awesome fucking, scenery and stuff like that. But it's like, is it really worth it when you're having your rights attacked that much?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what pushes old man Mark out.
I don't know. It would be nice to see him come someplace, honestly. And the thing is, like, now would be the time for those people in Colorado to move here to Ohio and help us out, because it's like we're gonna need this in the fight.
Right.
So, or if nothing else, move to, like, where's that one? Indiana maybe would be another one, because I know that with Indiana they have, I think it's Holcomb is their governor right now, and that dude is up for term limits. I believe it's the end of this year. I want to say, I could be wrong about that one. It might be next year. And there's supposed to be a new governor's race then for that seat. And the guy who is one of the current senators for them said he's going to basically be filing paperwork to run as governor now. So I don't know how good that guy is when it comes to 2A stuff, but yeah. It's not good. It's not good.
No, none of it is.
And then, of course, this one happened about probably 10 to 15 minutes from where I live right now, which was suspected robber stabbed to death by a resident of Canton Home. And people are talking about the guy that was the homeowner basically possibly being charged with, like, manslaughter or murder or something like that, even though he technically has both castle doctrine and stand your ground on his side in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so according to Canton Police Department, a suspected robber was stabbed to death by an occupant of the home on Sunday night. Police say officers arrived at that house for two separate burglaries in progress around 8 p.m. Where officers arrived at the house, they found a suspect lying on the kitchen floor. Police say the suspect had been stabbed by the resident after entering the home through a rear door. Suspect was unresponsive and taken to Altman Hospital, where he died from his injuries. So Canton detectives discovered the same suspect entered that home through the rear door and confronted a resident in an upstairs bedroom before leaving. So, yeah, sounds to me like pretty much stand your ground and everything else for that matter. So,
Speaking of which, let me ask you. I know you've seen one of them, the one that happened in Houston. I think the other one happened in Texas too. I can't be for sure. But the
yeah.
two recent self-defense shootings,
Uh-huh.
like the one that was in the restaurant where the guy came in robbing, and the guy that actually defended him and everyone in it was sitting in one of the booths. And
Mm-hmm.
as the guy was walking, somewhat past him, he stood
Mm-hmm.
up, and that's when he opened fire.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to get charged?
So, I know for a fact that there was already a DA in Texas who specifically said, and he laid out the actual penal codes about stopping a felony in progress, like a robbery or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, that would be why they would not charge that dude. I know other people are saying, oh, it's because he shot 9 times, and the 9th time was like the bang shot execution to the headshot, basically, is what it was.
Yeah, I saw
I
that
don't
too,
know.
but
I don't know.
my opinion is he was just taking the fucking trash out.
Yeah.
Because
And then, of course,
who's to say he wasn't gonna turn around and just open fire on everybody in there? Because I don't know
yeah.
how many videos I've seen where people totally complied with the bad guy and still got end up getting shot because the fucking bad guy is a psycho.
Well, the thing is, too, it's you have all these people now, including the mainstream media, that are coming out and being like, oh, well, the guy had a fake gun or whatever. You don't know that. You don't know that
Oh
when that's
no,
going happening. You
no.
have so many of these so-called, realistic looking guns that are fucking legit. They
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to do action and everything else like that. And they look exactly like a Glock or a SIG or whatever the case be.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, you don't know that if it's not real at that point. I mean, yeah, some of them have orange tips to them, but you could easily yank those fuckers off.
They do it all the time.
Yeah. And then, of course, you
That
had
and
this
the
horrible one that happened here recently about the dollar store employee murder with machete.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the that girl was like 22, 23, about to get married, and unfortunately, she did not get a chance to go down the aisle. Apparently,
yeah, it's
yeah, it was just some piece of crap took her out early. So, which again is just another reason to be carrying. Now,
exactly.
granted, that being said, you can see the same thing with Louisiana there, where the guy actually was carrying, shot the dude, and is now being tried with manslaughter. So,
Mm-hmm. And that other shooting I was talking about, I can't tell if it was like a convenience store or a jewelry store. I don't know. It's some kind of shop. Let's put it that way. And you can see the bad guy at the counter. It starts off with him at the counter, and you can see him reach in his waistband, pull out the pistol, and he looks like he pulls something out of his back pocket. I'm assuming it's like a demand list or whatever, like telling him what to do. The guy's sitting down behind the counter, all nonchalantly looks at it, grabs the remote, turns the fucking TV off, puts it back. The woman in view, she backs off, scared, and all you see is another guy coming in on his knees, crawling up to the counter like he's, surrendering. And then you can see him start to go for his waistband. The bad guy, pistol whips him upside the head, and he pulls his gun out and took out the trash.
Bang, bang, bangs. Yep.
Almost the same as that restaurant one in Houston.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so as of, I was just looking up the Google one here for Texas. It says, this is 5 hours ago. It's claiming grand jury to decide, quote, vigilante's fate in fatal Texas tequila robbery shooting. So, yeah. I love how they keep calling the guy vigilante. It's like, nah, bro. That was just a constitutional carrier that got sick and tired of it, bro. Seriously.
Well, yeah, because like I said, in both scenarios, who's to say the bad guy's not going to turn around once he gets what he wants? And because he has the upper hand, has all the dominance, and turns around and just kills them because they're witnesses, or just because, I just, fuck it, I don't care. Boom, boom, boom. It happens all the time. So if you can get the drop on someone like that, fucking do it, because your life is literally on the line in something like that. You were
Yeah, it
your own
says here.
first responder. You can't rely on the police to be close enough and get to you in time. Even if they're there, who's to say they're not going to fucking pull a Uvalde and not act until after everything goes down?
Yeah, it says here, after returning stolen money to diners, is now the subject of grand jury probe after he came forward for questioning on Monday. Okay, so he did come forward now. It's a graphic video shows the Ranchito, number 4, in Southwest Houston, captured the customer pulling a pistol and turning tables on Bandit. Let's see, at least 9 shots could be heard on video. No one else was injured in the incident. Trying to figure out what kind of gun that dude had.
I don't know. Kind of looks like maybe like a little Taurus or something. That's
Yeah,
hard to tell.
something.
It just looks like a little black gun. It could be like a little Glock.
46-year-old customer was questioned by Houston police homicide detectives Monday. Said, quote, after consulting with Harris County District Attorney's Office, it was determined the shooting will be rendered to a grand jury. Since the male is not arrested or charged, since his identity has not been released, the alleged robber was killed, was identified by police Monday as 30-year-old Eric Eugene Washington. Said shooting unfolded by 11:30 p.m. last Thursday as 10 customers were dining inside the place. Witnesses told officers suspect entered the restaurant, pointed a pistol at patrons and demanded money as a suspect collected the cash from them. One of the patrons, described as a white or Hispanic male, produced a gun of his own and shot the suspect multiple times. The gun the robber used to menace diners turned out to be a toy gun. At the time of the robbery, suspect was dressed in all black, including a black ski mask and black gloves. Pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics. Yeah, so just craziness.
Yeah, and in the video, it's so far away you can't tell. If he's trying to aim the gun to shoot at anyone in the store, that he stops the threat. He shoots until he stops the threat.
Yeah, exactly.
And a prime example is that video. I don't know. I think we talked about it. I can't remember. But there was this young black woman just got to her apartment, dead quiet. She could hear everything around her. In front of her were 2 women in hoodies. They went up the stairs, but she never heard them go into an apartment or anything like that because it was quiet. And then all of a sudden, she hears them whispering. Her spidey senses, so to speak, go off. She pulls her concealed carry pistol out, and here come the 2 coming down the stairs on camera. The first one had a gun pointing at her, and so she opens fire. She shot a volley of like 10 rounds, I think, hit one of the girls in the leg, and the girl running away turns around, as she's running, points the gun behind her and just starts shooting.
Yeah.
That's why you shoot until you stop the threat.
Yep.
Because shooting him in the leg, that right there proved shooting him in the leg, like Joe Biden says, or whoever, it does not work.
Yeah.
Because they're still capable of shooting.
President Trump responds to Biden leaving classified documents in old office. Is the FBI going to raid Biden now?
I just saw something about that like moments ago on Discord.
They fucking should.
Yeah, because isn't that the whole thing? They went after Trump in Mar-a-Lago because he had classified
because
documents
he supposedly
that he was allowed to fucking
classified
have.
documents with him, but yet Biden's dumbass just left a bunch of shit.
Exactly.
Like,
how many presidents before
opinion.
Trump always took classified documents with them?
I mean, Obama has a bunch in his fucking presidential library, is what it is.
Hillary Clinton had a fucking private server in her fucking home that was hacked. But oh my God, Trump had some documents. Let's fuck over him. Fuck that bullshit. They're hypocritical pieces of shits.
Yeah, this is something I was talking about a little bit earlier before you got here, which was this is why I'm really pissed they didn't pass. As far as I'm aware, they didn't pass the parental rights bills here last year, in our General Assembly at the end of December, or whatever there. Because now you had this shit come out. Hundreds of Chicago teachers raped and sexually assaulted, as well as groomed students in 2022 alone.
Jesus.
Yes, 100 teachers in the Chicago public school system raped, sexually assaulted, and groomed students last year, according to a report released by Chicago Public Schools Office of the Inspector General. The 2021-2022 school year saw 772 investigations into teachers for allegedly raping, sexually assaulting, and grooming students. The office was able to close 600 adult-on-student cases in the past year, and subsequently more than half of the allegations. Despite that, only 16 of the cases have resulted in charges. Said some cases involving taking trips to Las Vegas Ibiza, London, and the Bahamas for sexual purposes. Said while the majority of cases involving high school students, some involve children as young as the 4th grade.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
To the
People
wall.
wonder why I'm outraged. People wonder why I'm so pissed off when I have literally a almost 9-year-old niece right now. She'll be 9 next month, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this shit pushed on her. I don't want fucking sickos teaching her in her classrooms.
Oh, God, no.
I don't want all the trans crap fucking shoved down her throat and everything else like that and have her come out some fucking crazy kid when she's like 14.
Yeah, I actually just found this out not too long ago. I've actually got a cousin that's going through that right now, and the parents are all for it, and you can't tell them anything, and they're deaf, dumb, and blind to any bad repercussions of
Yeah.
it's just Jesus, man. It's
Well, my second cousin to me, she came out as a trans man this past year. And we all had a good laugh about it, honestly. Those of us that when she was not around is what it was, obviously. Because it's like, really? Like, seriously? And like, not much has changed. That's the thing. Like, still looks about the same, but she had a double mastectomy and everything else like that's what it was now. And
it's because they're growing up with it being like, oh, it's the new cool fad thing. We need to do it to be
exactly.
inclusive, to fit in, and kind of like goths were.
There was one female teacher who actually stopped teaching in the past few years and came out of the woodwork and was like, hey, all these young white girls just want to be oppressed, basically, is what it is, and that's their oppression, is to basically become trans men now.
Jesus.
And it wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It seems to be a big thing, especially when you look at like TikTok and stuff like that. Like, you have all these kids on there talking about like, oh, I got a double top surgery or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? You're like 15 years old.
Yeah, and there's no going back. That's why there's more and more videos coming out of people detransitioning and trying to warn everybody, and begging them to do research and to not to do it, because there's no going back once you start hormones. And to me, it's all about depopulation, because if you think about it, because a woman that transitions to be a man, quote unquote, they'll never be able to have kids. Once they start slamming testosterone into them constantly, they'll never have kids. And the men that go to women, quote unquote, they'll never be able to reproduce because they get their twiggy berries cut off.
Well, either that, or if they have enough estrogen put in your system, it'll fucking destroy your sperm count.
Exactly. The estrogen will kill any fucking sperm that you have possible to impregnate somebody. So you're basically making them infertile on purpose, and you're promoting it because it fits into their depopulation narrative. How many fucking decades now have they been whining about, oh, the population is getting too big, we need to depopulate, especially Bill Gates?
Yeah, it's at least since I was a little kid. So
exactly, it's been at least, I want to say 40, 50 years now that they've been calling for depopulation. Because, oh my God, if it gets too much, all our resources will be gone. And then, even that's all bullshit.
And then you had somebody mysteriously blow up the fucking Georgia Guidestones last year that actually said exactly that about depopulation and like numbers and stuff.
Yep, I remember that.
Seems very, very fishy that seemed to just happen randomly like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Stacey Abrams now says she will likely run for office again.
Fuck that dumb cunt. This is what
Why is she not in Georgia State Prison already? Come on, Brian Kemp, do your job already, man.
Right. She's already lost, 2 elections back to back.
She's lost 2 different governor's races, and she obviously cheated in both of them.
And still couldn't win. That's sad.
Yeah. Well, she almost did the first time around. It was the only reason she didn't is because Kemp was Secretary of State and is like, hey, it's 3 days past the election. We're not going to count any more of these fucking boxes that are coming for Stacey Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I won now. Is what it was basically like then. Which sadly, on the flip side of that, that's basically what Katie Hobbs did as Secretary of State there in Arizona. She's like, nah, Carrie Lake totally didn't win. I totally won because all these boxes came in for me.
Yeah, it's scary
up.
to think of what she has planned to do because she's trying to get in so fucking hard and cheating and everything, and allegedly, just I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like what sick, crazy shit do you plan on doing? Because when someone wants something like that bad, it's not for good reasons.
Well, according to this article from about 8 hours ago, where they're now claiming that Katie Hobbs is governor because obviously she was sworn in. First State of the State speech. Supposed Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs plans to focus squarely on education.
I thought that was still
indoctrination.
I thought that was still like being contested because
it's supposed to be. It's still being contested in the Supreme Court right now, but yet she's somehow able to take office. She's like, it's absolute bullshit entirely. It's the same exact thing with who was it? The people that won the AG's office because it should have been that harem guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or however much his name, Abe something. Yeah, it's a bunch of crap entirely. And then we had this one 3 hours ago from Axios that said, where's that here now? Yeah, Hobbs GOP could find common ground on raising K-12 spending cap. She just looks like a fucked up individual too, man. Let's see. Hobbs and Republican-controlled legislator may be able to work together on water, housing, and the aggregate spending cap on K-12 schooling, which are among priorities. Hobbs outlined in the first State of the State address on Monday. Fucking ridiculous. Republicans hold one vote majorities in both House and Senate. Good God. That is not good.
Nope.
Well, it's about the same thing in Michigan. I know Democrats basically stole that one a little bit there. Forget exactly what Michigan. Let's go look up Michigan right now and see what's going on in Michigan.
Yeah, I heard the shit that the gun control shit that Illinois is trying to do was supposed to be hitting Michigan sometime soon.
Yeah, this is all a month ago from all this shit here. Yeah, 65-44. See, 65-44. All right, let's see. This is from 2022 though. They may have to reintroduce this then this year if that be the case.
Oh, you know they will.
December.
You know they will.
Yeah, it was December. It had all of its first introduction stuff by Jeffrey Peppa. They really just need to have some guy run this James Salt and go after Pepper hard. Maybe like Jason Chili or something like that. Yeah, crazy shit either way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think we're definitely coming to that precipice though, where it's either fight or flight mode. And I don't think many of us are going to fly. So
this year's going to be a telltale sign of whether things are going to look on the brighter side or if this is going to be like, quote unquote, the worst year yet.
Yeah.
And I think
for the next 5 days, Taurus, Rossi, and Heritage all have a rebate on their firearms. So there is that.
Rossi?
Yeah. Their gallery guns and stuff like that have like I forget what kind. It's like 25 or 50, something like that.
That's not bad.
And then I know that GX4 has a 50, and I know everything else. There's like the G3C and everything else like that have like a 25, and then I forget what the one is for the Rough Riders and stuff. It's like 20, 25, something like that.
I wouldn't mind getting one of those Rossi. Forget the model number, but the pump action one, 22s.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think
if
those are the ones that are on sale right now.
I was going to get another Rossi, because I got that Rossi R22, I would get either the Rossi R92, I believe it's called, the
Yeah.
357 38 special lever action.
Yep.
Because since I have those two Taurus 38s, it'd be cool to have a rifle that shot the same ammo.
Yep. That's why I always said if I ever hit the lottery, one of the ones I want to do is get a Henry X in 357, and then get one of the Smith and Wesson R8s, like that sweet ass one that Maggie had in the first several seasons of Walking Dead.
Oh hell yeah! The
It's like the
R8.
elite. Yeah, it's like the Elite series or whatever. I forget what it was. It's like some kind of special one or whatever. It has like a sweet ported barrel on it and everything.
Yeah, because she was carrying that when they went to Alexandria.
Yeah, it was like I think it was season 4 or early season 5 is when she first started having that gun. Because I think it was something that they found somewhere is what it was.
Yeah, they never actually say where they find all their fucking weapons and shit.
Well, that's the one thing I thought was nice though, because there was that one season, the end of that one season where it was Joe's crew when they were killed and everything. All the guns that they had at that time were all from those dudes.
Oh yeah. Because I think Glenn had it for a little bit, but Maggie carried it a lot, especially when they were on the road. That Mosin Nagant.
Yeah. Well, then that's also where Glenn got his 1911 from. That I think Maggie carried after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a several season gun there. That was like 3-4 seasons of that show is what it was, until they finally, it was like season like 7, 8, whatever.
Yep.
So, but yeah. And that's the thing. Like that's what I would like more of, honestly, when out of Hollywood, was this like cognitive consistency, I guess is the best way to describe it. Which is like, hey, we know they have these things already, like have them have these things consistently.
Yeah. The one thing that's always pissed me off with movies though is when, someone's in a firefight and they run out of ammo, they end up just running away. They never pick up the weapons off of the bad guys they took out. And it's like, come on, dude. You just pick up that rifle right by you, you'd have more ammo.
Well, it's like there's only a couple times that ever has actually happened in Hollywood, and it was like way late 80s, early 90s, because I remember Die Hard was one of the few that it did it in.
Well, I've seen them do it in newer movies, like John Wick. I've watched him, run out and he'd pick up their guns or pick up off, like mags to fit his gun off of them. So it's happened in some newer ones, but it's still far in between that it happens.
Yeah, well, the reason I bring up Die Hard is because obviously they have the scene where he's like flipping out the bullets from their I forget what kind of 9mm they were using, and it was into his handgun then. He was refilling his mag with it.
Yeah, that's shit. Nice. That's realism, realistic. If you're ever in a firefight and you start running low or run out, if you got the people around you, you just pick up what they have. If it's not the same mag, you could just take the ammo out and put it in your mag.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also another reason why the compatibility thing is a big issue when it comes to groups and stuff nowadays. Like that's the one thing I remember from when we had them shutting down that drag show down in Columbus at the end of last year, and it was like you had the main guy of that random group that showed up carrying an AK, and everybody else around him has AR-15s is what it is. And I'm just like, dude, you have no mag compatibility with these guys because you have an AK.
Exactly. And it's not just mag, it's the ammo too. It's like, come on, dude. If he would have had like a Mini 14, at least it'd be ammo compatible.
That was the one thing I did like about the second season of Black Summer, because they did have both ARs and Mini 14s in that. Then you had the main dude with a weird random ass shotgun though, and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Uh-huh.
Like, where's your AR? Come on, buddy.
I cannot wait for season 3. It's supposed to drop sometime this year.
Yeah, probably be the end of the fucking year is my guess.
I think it was supposed to be more around the summer.
Well, I know the last time they dropped the season, it was like May of that year or something, so it might be the same way here.
I don't know, but I can't wait because season 1 was good. It was a little slow just because of the back and forth from every different person that was part of the group, giving like a little bit of their backstory.
Uh-huh.
And then 2 was more of them surviving everything, and then new people getting introduced, and some of the originals, not making it. And
it'll
I don't
be
know, it's
interesting
better.
to see what happens with 3, because obviously when you had the end of 2 with her blowing up the thing by that dude, and then they were technically both still alive.
Yeah, and then
Because
the daughter gets on the fucking plane with that Asian chick son.
that never happened. It was just Sun herself getting on the plane.
I thought the daughter got on there. Oh no, she was
No, the
supposed to,
daughter
but
was
she
going to
stayed.
she was going to get like a vehicle or something for her mom.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see season 3 set, obviously a couple years down the road or whatever, and now it's like the 3 of them in the back of the fucking car or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because obviously if you just tried to kill this dude like not long ago, are you really going to want to be buddies with him now?
And Spears, the black dude that was always in the army outfit.
Uh-huh.
Did he just was he just sick and tired of the world and just gave up and opted out, or was he bit?
There was that so there's condescending things about that one, and I think it was something where he may have been bit, because there was that whole episode where it was supposed to be him and the other guy, but it was basically just him remembering some guy he had killed as a kid, I think is what it was.
Yep.
And that whole thing, like, that's why I thought that episode was garbage, because I didn't realize it at the time, and then I rewatched it like later on or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, so that guy just wasn't even there at all. And yeah, I think his thing was basically like, I'm already like at my end or whatever, because I think he may have gotten clipped too, if I'm not mistaken. So it might not have been bit. He might have been losing blood from being shot or something. And he figured like, yeah, I'm already like septic and everything else like that. Like, fuck it. And that's why he had the daughter kill him then.
Mm-hmm.
Which would make sense. But
I would love to see more of it wasn't the cabin, but that house or whatever, when the mom and daughter was playing cards, but they were communicating while playing cards.
Yeah,
I would love to see some more of that shit in 3, because to me that was just fucking awesome, because they knew this shit was going to go south, just didn't know when. And then when it happened, they were talking in the card game, and dude, that was just fucking awesome. To me, it was kind of unique, and you don't really see shit like that, and it was just one of the main standout scenes for me in that whole season.
The only problem I had with when they like dinged off the other people is what it was. I'm 99% sure that one of their first shots was a kill shot to the head, and they still shot the person a second time after the fact.
Right.
And I'm just pretty sure you just blew the brains out, man. Like, there's no need for that second shot.
Right. Did they ever? I don't think they ever explained what happened at the stadium, because once she found her daughter, season 2
it just started up like months later or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is what I assume is going to happen with season 3. It'll be something similar where it's like them with whoever now.
Yeah, and they're going to probably end up making their way to where Sun's at, because she's going to be where it's more, I guess, quote unquote, safe zone.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they're going to have to figure out.
Actually, it would make sense if perhaps they killed off that the cop dude who got nearly blown up in the last season. And then it was the 2 of them and that mace guy who was beating up all the zombies at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, because he survived that explosion, didn't he? With her.
Yeah. Well, he was in a different part of that plane hangar area or whatever, killing off a bunch of zombies when they were doing their fucking thing.
When they got
easily come back around and been like, oh, let me save your mom for you or whatever, and like toss her in the back of a vehicle, and they find a first aid kit or something like that.
Yeah.
So
That's
who
such a
knows?
good show.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is how it's supposedly that spinoff of Z Nation, because obviously it was the first season of Z Nation. A couple episodes in when they're talking about the Black Summer.
Yes, yeah, that maybe.
But the thing of it, it's interesting if you go back to that series, because I think it's episode 3, 4, whatever, when they meet the one chick. The way she explained Black Summer was, it was called Black Summer because it was basically everybody going to cannibalism.
Well, yeah, of course. Because oh God, what's her name? I don't know if she was Hispanic or not. I think she was like Hispanic, maybe Asian. But yeah, she was talking about how even when she was with her cult member family that she escaped from, Black Summer was when everyone started eating meat. That's why that psycho dude would lure people in and rob them and keep them, because he would cook them up and eat them. That was their food. They would bring in straggler survivors.
Yeah, and you had to keep them alive, because if you didn't, they would turn immediately.
Mm-hmm. That's another good show. To me, I felt like that was underrated. It was. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, of course, it got a little stupid with like the zombies that had weed growing off of them, and they were more plant than actually zombie human. So I mean, yeah, like the fucking, oh God, the rolling ball of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was so ridiculous. It was funny though, but it was unnecessary.
The thing I thought was interesting about that particular series was you had that Harold Peregrine guy that we all thought was going to be the lead in it, and he dies like immediately in that series.
I know, right, because that's even it's still his face on the show. Like if you look it up, and then he's only in it with like an episode, maybe an
And then it's
episode and a
funny
half.
because then you also have the secondary sort of B-list actor guy that was in Dead Man on Campus, who you think, okay, it's going to be another kind of guy that's going to take over, and no, that guy dies pretty quick on too.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody else.
I love Doc. Doc was my favorite.
Yeah,
he always cracked me up.
I liked oh God, who was in that series? Not the chick that had the baseball bat. I mean, she was cool too. The guy who was her dude for a little bit, who ended up dying in like the first or second season of that show.
No, I think he lasted until, what was it, the third season?
I don't know. I know he died in like some stairwell with a bunch of zombies is what it was.
Yeah.
And I thought that was bullshit, because I was like, okay, you were just starting to get good, and then you fucking like that is the one thing I sort of disliked about Z Nation compared to Walking Dead was they would basically just kill off characters for no reason. It was like, all right, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas at least with Walking Dead, it's like, yeah, it actually makes sense storyline wise.
And the whole like with 10K, when he got bit in the hand and his girlfriend chopped his hand off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why did you do that? Even if he turned quote unquote turn, I mean, they had those fucking biscuits that would keep him human. And then
I never watched the entire series, so I don't. Maybe that was after I stopped watching. I don't know.
Oh, my bad.
I'm fine. I don't really care either way, honestly.
It's actually I really enjoyed the whole series. For me, they ended it too soon. It got canceled, and they didn't wrap it up well enough for me.
It's like the same thing with most series. They always need like that one more season, but they never get it.
Or even just like one more episode, or just wrap it up.
There was one years ago that CBS did, Mike and Molly, that needed like another season of that show to really like wrap everything up, and they didn't get it the way they needed to.
I never did get it. Wasn't that the one with Melissa McCarthy?
Yes, it was Melissa McCarthy, and I forget what the guy's name is. And he was he's been in a bunch of stuff since then. He now does that Bob Hearts Abishola shit or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never watched that series because I thought it was dumb, but yeah, he's not a bad actor. But yeah, that show was good, and it was a decent casting and everything, and yeah. It bothers me the way that they ended it, because they kind of cliffhangered it, and they never were like, oh yeah, now we're just done. I'm like, well, fuck you then. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate that some of those shows end up like that and whatnot. So,
Oh yeah, it like one of the greatest shows in my opinion, and we talk about it a lot, was Jericho. It pissed me off that they canceled it because it left it on a big cliffhanger, and that show, if it would have took off more, I could have seen it going at least 6, 7, 8 seasons.
yeah. Apparently, a bunch of people are super butthurt about what happened here in Ohio in the last couple of days.
On what?
Late Friday night, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine signed, quote, 2 controversial bills into law, one making voter changes to make voter ID now a thing, another ordering state agencies to award drilling licenses on state-owned lands and designating natural gas as green energy. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I was thinking I don't see a problem.
Well, I know Nikki Antonio, who's one of the Dems in our state senate, was bitching about it too. She's like, "Oh, you're talking about green energy, but then you're saying natural gas." It's like, yeah, it's more green than the shit you call green energy, lady.
Yeah, the whole fucking
Electric batteries or whatever
electric
it is.
vehicles and the lithium batteries, which, oh god, you don't want to fucking have to replace one of those batteries. It's like what, 12, 15 grand. Not to mention how horrible it is for the people that have to mine that shit.
Yeah, when I was talking, I actually responded back to Antonio's thing the other day. I said, quote, green energy is a farce and you damn well know it. The only thing green about it is how much money it kickbacks into you and your leftist buddies' pockets.
Yep. That's probably why they call it the Green New Deal, because it's a dollar bills, y'all. We got to steal our money from the American people and trick them into buying nothing but electric vehicles where we can shut them off anytime we want.
We got a good old how it started, how's it going as well here. Some chick. Trump stole classified documents. Biden didn't. August 2022. Classified documents from Biden's time as VP discovered in private office today.
Yeah, they just fucking left. What else?
Yeah. Yeah, she was responding about Jim Jordan on that one too, back in August.
I had posted a video in Discord.
Oh, apparently that chick is some kind of journalist. That's even better.
Where it was TV, where he was on the news or whatever, but it looked like it was 2 different Bidens, and they were pointing out how his earlobes were different in each shot. One shot, it had where the earlobes were more disconnected, and the other one was where they were like on his side of his head, almost flat, where it looked like he had hardly any earlobe at all.
Apparently, YouTube gave Delta Team Tactical a channel strike the other day.
Oh, really? Why?
It does not say, but they said the build that I was showing there is a giveaway that they're doing.
I finally got my fucking Delta Team order in today that I ordered back on December 20th. I got it in today.
That almost looks like it might be a rail on that, a key mod on an M-Lock.
You're not screen sharing, I don't know.
I'm not trying to, that's the point, because I think it has prices on here.
Yeah. And all I ordered was I ordered a Magpul MOE stock for one of my ARs and 2 slings and the sling swivels.
Yeah, there's the actual.
And it took fucking forever to get here. Ooh, yeah, I saw that. That's nice. Yeah. Isn't that the Wild?
I don't know. It says 5.56, so.
Oh no, that's nice. I like that.
My thing is though, if I'm gonna have a scope riser like that or a scope on that, I don't like the way that they have that particularly set up in its current configuration. I'd up that a little bit farther so I could actually do flip up backup sights on it.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! That would be more standard for me.
And plus, just the way that is as far back as it is, that would smack me right in the eye as soon as I took my first shot.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be at least like a couple notches up anyway. So,
I'd go about halfway in the middle.
yeah, I'd probably go like right about here where the
Because you
rail is.
always need, for me personally, I always want iron sights on my gun. Even if I put an optic or a scope, I need and want iron sights. Because
That also appears to be an ambidextrous safety on it as well. That's nice.
maybe.
Well, it looks like there's a flip on the left side
Mm-hmm.
there. So, yeah, that's
I
really
like
nice.
that grip. It looks like it's heavily textured.
Yeah. Let's see what it's. I do have this thing here for the specs of it. Let's see what it says here. It is. Let's see. 16-inch 5.56 AR-15, Timber Creek, Gray Man 15 M-Lock handguard, Davidson Defense, Mil-Spec upper, Davidson Defense Mil-Spec lower, Spikes Tactical BCG, Geisley single stage curved bow trigger. See, Strike Industries, Castle Nut, Nen Plate, Strike Industries, Bullet, Ultimate Dust Cover, Mil-Spec buffer tube, mid-length stainless steel gas tube. Let's see, 3 ammunition storage compartment, stainless steel magazine, Magpool MAS sling, 2 Bravo Company USA QD sling swivel, Bazooka Green Cherokee by Culper Precision, and then let's see what else is in here. XP DW stock lower parts kit, Victory charging handle. Yeah, textured pistol grip. Does not say what kind of scope that comes with though, which is weird.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because
Yeah.
that could be really anything.
Yeah, I think it's probably something they usually put on most of their stuff, so probably just like standard shit or whatever. I mean, it's a nice looking rifle though, for sure.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't bat an eye at that giveaway. And what is that fucking Matt Walsh saying pit bulls should be banned?
It says pit bulls should be banned, and there is no sane argument. And to the contrary, they are dangerous animals responsible for a vastly disproportionate number of fatal maulings in the country. The fact that you think they're cute does not outweigh the danger. And it was talking about 7-year-old Louisiana girl mauled to death in yard by neighbor's pit bull.
Yeah, that's likely because of the neighbor how they raise that pit bull.
Yeah,
I've got 2 pit bulls,
exactly.
and they are sweet as all get out. It's a matter of how you raise them. I mean, for crying out loud, a nickname for a pit bull is called the nanny dog.
Yeah. House voted to repeal funding for Biden's 87,000 IRS agents. Every Democrat voted no on it. Of course they did.
Yeah, we don't need no fuck those. We don't need them IRS agents toting around guns.
Nope. Yeah, DeWine giving his second inauguration speech last night for his second term now. So that was fun. Yeah. Let's see, Ohio finally on board for Amtrak expansion. About fucking time. All right. I think we're about to call it though. Been here for like an hour and a half, so I said what I wanted to say for this stuff, and now we're just getting into bullshit. So
Yeah, right.
if anybody else is out in the comment section wants to jump in the back chat, we'll be here for a little bit. At least I will be anyway. Throw a link out there in the description. So other than that, I think that's where we're at for today. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon probably for my 38th birthday celebration, and you might hear me go on a racist drunken rant during that. You never know. Nah, I'm just kidding. I might go on a drunken rant, but it probably ain't gonna be race based though. So yeah. But anyway, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet, man. I say weird shit when I'm halfway hammered. So But anyway, that's about it, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all on the next one.
There you go.